Hey everyone, I'm Outlaw Vayne, and I'll be playing a bunch of Steam bargain games. My rules were it had to be under $1, seeing if they were all horrible or if I could find some gems. And my disclaimer is, I know these developers are learning, so I'll try not to be too harsh, because eventually they might make something I really like. The sponsor for this video is mypire.com. They have merch, electronics, but their flagship product is God Mode, made to increase your energy, reflexes, and focus. And anyway, with that, on to the video. So first up, we have Massive Cleaver versus Zombies. Yeah, let's just say Cleaver. Well, it has a comic strip story I like the style of until I realized it was a joke excuse to put in QuickTime events, which I absolutely hate. Which is half the game. So basically, you swing level or you swing at the ground. You turn left and right. It's pretty much flash game quality. Next up, we have Vayne 2. What is there really to say about it? It's a simple don't touch the side game. Something I don't wanna and can't play after 3 cups of coffee. It's a very boring game. I have no interest in playing it or talking about it. Next we have Borrow. You know, as much as I played this and how not good it is, I can say this game was made with a lot of love. Reused assets, fine. My biggest gripe is it's too red, and it's just not a similar caliber to the other top tier racing games. But the silver lining, the developer has a lot of potential to make something good, but this ain't it, hoss. It controls and feels like a flash game with a lot of love, but they exist, some probably better, more fun. There's a lot of different cars to choose from. I haven't found no discernible difference between them. The maps all have night, foggy, and rainy levels. But for 50 cents, you get what you pay for. I'm expecting something good out of this developer. I do have other games by them that I'm more interested in trying. Maybe in this video, if not the next one. The biggest takeaway from this game in particular is I didn't hate my time playing it like some of the other ones. Now we drive on into Animality. You may notice the menu is a familiar style to Vayne 2. That's because it's the same developer. I gave him one game free of scrutiny, but not this time. This game is bad. It doesn't belong on a phone. You press one button to switch the plane you're running and collect coins to unlock some new sprites to do the same thing. Some lock behind a DLC wall. What makes this game so terrible is like Vayne 2. The hitboxes are god-awful, as well as the enemies being the same color as the background. And it's not that hard. The only thing that'll make you fail is getting bored. Next up, I'm gonna butcher this, it's Anderillo. It's made by SC Juegos. From the maker of Borrow. This is the game I love by him. For the price, I got it for 50 cents. It's usually $1 in the store. It's the same vein as Scum, Ark, and many others. It's not as good, no multiplayer, but he's earning his money. As an indie, single developer, I'd like to say Phasmophobia is an outlier on single developer games. We got the basic tools standard for the genre, as well as the weapons. Bow, gun, spear, pickaxe, axe, torch, and there's a hammer for some reason. There are cars, zombies for extra loot, aliens somewhere. Furnace is required to burn leather to cloth. The building I didn't get into. My one and only gripe is the map is very samey, no matter where I've been, so there's no point for the car and fuel. Just find a body of water and a house and stay near there. Next we have Bad Rats. This game isn't bad, like my first impression led me to believe. In a way, this game is rather charming with its simplicity. You get the ball to hit to the trigger to kill the cat, What I really like is all the rats do different things. Most of the time, they give you extra rats and objects, leading me to believe there are multiple solutions to the puzzles. However, there wasn't a way I could get the game in full screen. There might be a way, I just couldn't find it. So the next game I'm going to talk about is The Adventurer, Episode 1, Beginning of the End. So it's a typical turn-based RPG with a camera you can rotate. There's a weapon called the Banhammer, which does a lot of damage, way more than anything else. You can basically one-hit every enemy in the game, other than the bosses. As for the story, you have to save these girls from these witches. Everything goes pretty smoothly after that, until you get to the labyrinth. The forums about it lead me to believe either no one can figure it out, it's glitched, or unfinished. I also emailed the developer for clarification. With the second episode on its way, and the unknown of how episode 1 ends, I don't think anyone will care. Someone did get a response to rotate the camera to find the switch, but I spent 2 hours doing that, without figuring anything out. I found no objects to interact with, so I'm done. I looked online, nothing. Maybe the Banhammer makes it so the switch is unhittable. Maybe the switch isn't in the labyrinth. I don't know, but that is all I can add to the conversation. I'm perplexed. If you try and figure it out, tell the community we are lost. Next up, we have Dude Simulator. Well, Dude Simulator was good for some laughs. It's janky, sandbox, but good janky. The cops trip over each other, you got cars, a decent amount of weapons, you can pee on people. I found a toy gun in the toy store, leading me to believe there are more weapons hidden elsewhere. The text-to-talk of the civilians and police will make you laugh while surfing on their heads or taking cover in the river. There's also a decent amount of weapons you can find at the gun shop. Next up, we have Autumn Dream. So Autumn Dream is supposed to be a horror game. You're not supposed to go in the yard at night or the basement. Your goal is to stay there 3 days. You go into the house, are pushed straight into the basement to grab food. I couldn't get the game to stop crashing. Once you go to sleep, I tried multiple times. Figured I'd mention this game. I'm well above the system requirements. Next up, we have Freedom Fighter. Freedom Fighter seems to be inspired by roguelikes. You just open up cells, it's procedurally generated, and sometimes it feels impossible to win. Seems you gotta be more lucky than good. It's pretty bad. I like the art style, it needs more fine-tuning. The game would be frustrating if I liked it. Cells explode, enemies are piled on top of each other sometimes. If you could move better, it'd be fine. But it's so slow. So next we have Dark Egypt. You know what? This name sounds a lot like... Oh my god, this again. This is the Autumn Dream menu. Another horror game. Gear up, go under the pyramid because someone got trapped, and guess what happens? I'll give you a multiple choice question. The game crashed. The game was so scary I stopped, or it crashed. That's right, it crashed. So 8-core processor might not be optimized for this game. Likely not, or my NVIDIA 2080 can't handle its load screen. Surprisingly, the reason could be the octa-core. Most games are designed for a 4, but haven't run into the issue until now. I could only get 6 minutes of footage for this one, but I tried 3 times, starting over. I think I got more by this developer as well, and so I'm going to be in for a lot more fun. Game crashing and money wasting. To be honest, I don't like horror games. I pooped at the lightning bolt, so I didn't want to play, but I really tried. Dollar wasted on the 2 of them, until I find more. So next up we have Ghost Lords. First off, you pick your starting ghost. You get a little map after you choose your story. You have a merchant, you can buy relics, stats, or moves. So yeah, it plays like Pokemon. Main differences is if your ghost dies, it's gone. And its attacking isn't the same cost as Pokemon games. You got these purple things you can regain 2 a turn with a max of 5. And the difficulty is beyond Pokemon. You can restart the zone or the encounter There's also a hardcore mode you cannot restart, one and done. Some areas have wild ghosts, being purple. Unknown are the red areas, which are usually battles. Orange is merchants, and the green areas are healers. While this game is a cheap copy of something successful, I feel it manages to do it well. I kept playing it for more footage, so while under $1 worth it, I'm actually not going to hide this game from my library like I do with so many others. So if you happened your way upon this video and enjoyed the content, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'd appreciate it. It helped me so much. Thank you.